Hello friends, my greetings to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening as per your time zone. I'm Seema here again and I welcome you all on this clarification session. Today many participants joined this session first time. So I have chose the scope models for the session because I believe that understanding of scope models at initial stage makes many things easy in the PMI-PBA exam. Some of you may wonder that scope models are described in the elicitation and analysis domain, which is the third one. It's okay because all of the models are described at one place, but the fact is requirement modeling starts even before the project is initiated. For example, in general, requirements are explored, business requirements are explored in the need assessment domain, and various scope models can be used to represent those requirements. And during need assessment, we all know that it is related to the pre-project analysis. So friends, understanding of scope models can be a good start for your exam preparation. So here is the agenda for the session. First, we will see the requirement models and then we check the scope models in detail. Requirement models are used to make things easy, to understand complex information. It is a visual representation and various models can be used to explore requirements at the according to the life cycle of the projects, and it is the tool to use that what is the important and what is the crucial information so that right requirements are created. So requirement models are visual representation of information and allow us to study a problem systematically. When the information is represented in a simple form, it helps stakeholders to connect with the requirements easily, and they are engaged to explore more, because initially we start from the high level and then we explore the different elements of the system, and then we move to the details of elements, each element of the requirements. So it is important thing, and throughout the project development we are involved in the requirement development and management, and for every stage we use the requirement models to represent requirements in easy format. So requirement models can be represented in form of diagrams, tables, and structured text. It can be any form which makes things easy, because simplicity is the key, and it provides a big picture. When we start a project, we start with the shared vision of the scope. We need to know what is the boundary, and boundary can be defined by the features and functions which are relevant to the problem domain. And then we use the process models, rule models, data models, and interface models. So it doesn't mean that when we are exploring the high level of features and functions using scope models, we are not getting the idea of what are the interface involved in the system, what are the data involved in the system, because we are not using at the initial stage the data models and interface models. The thing is that during the scope models we get the details of the high level of everything. What are the high level features and functions, what are the high level data requirements associated with these features and functions, what are different systems are involved in the solution, and what are the top level users and what are the top level interactions. So high level we explore all of these information, and then we move further, we move to the processes, and later, where we go that that for each and every module what are the different processes, and at what we describe in detail each processes, and then for each processes we explore the rules and data models. Means here we are moving further in detail and information becoming more sharper and sharper. So don't be confused that when we are using the scope models, only the features and functions and identified. Here we are analyzing, the key is that here we are analyzing the whole system, and whole system where we know that features, functions, systems, relationship between them, what are the top users, data involved, and what are the top level interfaces. So this is a snapshot of the different requirement models which are there in the business analysis practice guide at page number 90. And here we explored the different scope models. Only few scope models are described in detail in the elicitation and analysis domain, because as I already told you that scope models can be used in the need assessment domain, and with the tools and techniques which have been described earlier, these tools and techniques and models have not described here in the elicitation and analysis domain. But here we need to see these tools and techniques like SWOT, decomposition model, organization chart, how can be these tools can be used as scope models. We need to discuss that section here, because this is somewhat not described clearly in the business analysis practice guide. So I'm starting the scope models, and I have already explained that what is the meaning of scope models. According to the business analysis practice guide, models that structure and organize the features, functions, and boundaries of business domain being analyzed. And the basically it helps to know the shared vision of the scope for all the stakeholders. So these are the scope models, example scope models, near about 12 goal models and business objective models. Here we are associating the requirements with the high level goals and objectives, because we start from the we are after all we are initiating a project to solve a problem, and there are goals to to solve those problems. So here we we relate the requirement, we map the requirements with the high level goals and objectives. And ecosystem map and context diagram helps to know the high level systems. Feature models, the different features which are there in the solution. If using this model we can represent near about 200 features in a single page. Use case diagrams helps you to know the top level users and their goals and their interactions with the system. SWOT diagram helps you to know the root of the problem and what is the right problem to solve. And this diagram is used when the solution of the problem needs the consideration of the external opportunities and threats, and internal strengths and weaknesses. And 5 why analysis and fishbone diagram is also the example of the scope models, because when you are using the 5 why analysis and fishbone diagram, you are connecting the causes and effects, and there is a logical relationship between the causes and effects. And when you are representing your problem in form of 5 why analysis and fishbone diagram, it shows the logical flow of information, and you can visualize that around these features and around this information flow you have to work to solve the problem. So it represents the high level scope of the solution. Interrelationship diagram, here you are playing with the multiple variables where multiple causes and effects are there, and analyzing of those causes and effects helps you to know the features and functions and information flow. And process flow also is important tool to know the scope models, because here you are analyzing the high level process flow is represented to know the solution, and you are exploring the at each step what is going on. So it can give you the better idea about the various features and functions and boundaries. Decomposition models, here you are representing hierarchically the information and organization chart, because when you are analyzing your solution, you are seeing that what are the different positions and how the information flow within those positions. So these are the different models that can be used to know the high level features, functions, users, interfaces, data, and which can be explored further using different other models. So first is the goal model and business objective model. Here you are looking at your problem. Here I am taking the example of business analysis practice guide, and you can see that the top problem is that profit per visit is down. Visitors are coming to your solution, to your website, but profit per visit is not there. So what is the objective to solve this problem? You need to increase profit per visit by $3. That is the objective. Now, to increase the profit per visit by $3, you need to see that consumers purchase. You are looking at the problem here related to your objective, that if I need to increase profit per visit by $3, then what is the problem associated to it to achieve this objective? Here the problem is that consumers are purchasing low margin frozen meals. So in that case, you need to increase the sales of higher margin cooking ingredients by $10 per visit. Means customers are buying lower margin frozen meals. So your objective is to increase the sales of higher margin cooking ingredients. Now, associated problem with this objective, that consumers are not willing to cook because shopping lists for recipes are time consuming. And if shopping lists are time consuming, they are not very keen to search those items which are giving higher margin. And other problem is associated that locating ingredients in store is not easy. So here we from this problem series of problem and objective analysis, ultimately we are reaching to the objective 3 and 4, that customers enable customers to create recipe shopping list in 15 seconds or less. Means here you are moving towards the measurable objectives. Means the customer should be able to create a recipe shopping list in just 15 seconds. That's the feature you have to develop, and that's the objective. And now your solution, you will create the internal details that will enable your the creation of the shopping list in 15 seconds or less. The other objective is B4 that enable consumers to locate any item within 1 minute. So these are the final objectives, these are the measurable form, and these now we have reached to the objective which can solve the problem of profit per visit is down. So here the top features which have been identified are the recipe management, store guide, and mobile access. So after the series of analysis of the problem and objectives, here these are the at the higher level. Now you got to know that you need to see the recipe management, you need to develop a store guide, you need to create a mobile access. These are the top features of recipe box. Now this model helping you to identify the top features which are directly associated with the goal of the project. So this model helps you to know, to explore the minimum marketable features, means features which must be there in the solution to make it usable. So recipe management, store guide, and mobile access. These are the top features, and in all these features you need to take care of all the objectives which are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if your initial solution is solving all the objectives, then you are providing a minimum marketable features. Ecosystem map, here your focus is to know that what all systems are involved in your scope or in your project boundary. Here you are exploring the ecosystem of your solution, means internal and external. Ecosystem includes all the systems which are internally directly related to your system, and or which system which are externally accessing your solution. For example, here you are creating a mobile app. In goal and objective model, you identified that you need a mobile app to search the recipes, and this mobile app is directly interacting with the store shelf system, and this is the direct system which is interacted by the mobile app. But this shelf layout system is taking data from the store inventory. This store inventory is not directly related to the mobile app, and and also this customer email system is the external to the mobile app, and you are sending customer, you are developing, you are making a campaign, and where you are sending mails to the customer, and they are using the you are providing the loyalty programs and promotions, and through that they are accessing the mobile application. So the thing is that in ecosystem map you are representing all the system which are within the boundary, both internally and externally. Internally means direct system. In the goal and objective models, you identified that what you need to develop, and whatever you are developing, they directly interact with some systems. So these are the direct system, and your those system like shelf layout is interacting with other systems. So these are the third system, third level, at the level third. So here you can see that whatever the systems are involved, these are represented, and you are analyzing the data here, top level data, that at the time of checkout you are getting the receipt. So receipt generation is there, and here the inventory update is there when you are doing the checkout, and here the product ID is going to the store inventory. So you can see that these are the this is the scope model, where you can see the systems which are involved, you can see the top level data, and you can see the top level interface requirements. And these interface requirements, these data requirements can be explored further using different models which are there in the data models and interface models. The context diagram. Here the objective is same as ecosystem map. Here you are, the difference is that you are only concerned about the direct systems which are relevant to the solution which you are developing. You are developing a mobile app, this is the center, and this is represented. Whatever you are developing, it is there in the uh, center, and the direct systems are only direct systems are represented here in form of rectangles, and this is the communication and relationship, and whatever data is flowing, it is represented through this association or relationship. So a context diagram can also be used in the gap analysis, because whatever system, because when you are in need assessment domain, you can use the context diagram to know that what is there currently, and what is the what you want to improve, and for that what should be your context diagram. So you can also model the what is as is model and what is the to be state, so it can help you to do the gap analysis. And it gives you the external touch points, means what are the direct system, because these are the external touch points. The mobile app is interacting with the grocery shopper, loyalty program, shelf layout, GPS system, printed layout. So these are the external touch points, and it gives the fair details about that. And it also helps to identify the interface requirements, because if the mobile app is interacting with the grocery shopper, so there should be there is a relationship between grocery shopper and mobile app, and you need to develop the interface for the same. And these interface details further can be further explained using system interface table. This is only the example. So at high level, you are exploring everything. Feature model, this helps you to visually represent the number of features which are hierarchically or in the form of tree, which are grouped together, and the different colors can be used to represent the different things, like these are the black requirements, which are needs to be developed in the near future, and the gray requirements which are going to be developed in later iterations. So these are the related requirements. List is related to that to list. You can delete the list. You can add in the favorites. You can search the list. All these are the related. So this helps the to group the related requirements, and it can be represented tree or hierarchical structure. Objective, that you can make sure that that every feature which is at the top level is not forgotten, and you can see more than 200 requirements on a single page. So you can engage your stakeholders. Okay, these are the top level features, and these, here is the grouping, and they can see that what is not there and what should not be there, and in that way you can come up with the final feature list which is related to the your goals and objectives. In the goal and objective models, you have associated the problem with the objectives, and these problem and objectives, you map the requirements, and then you identified the high level systems involved in the solution using context diagram and ecosystem map. Now you got to know the features. Your brainstorming further. So here you came up with the features which are directly relevant to your solution, and that solution is directly related to the real problem, and you are representing all the features on single page. So you can see the features logically related, and you can connect your stakeholders with all these requirements in one shot. Use case diagram, here is the objective is to know the top level users and what are their top level interactions. Interactions, they are always represented by verb like a user is selecting the recipe, user is submitting the recipe, user is editing the recipe, finding the recipe items, rejecting the recipe, and review the recipe and publish recipe. You can see all that all these goals and interactions are starting from the verb, and it helps you to know the boundary of the interactions, that what is the information which is in the within the solution scope boundary. And here the interesting point is that the use case diagram is included in the scope models, but use cases when in the textual format, which is included in the process models, because in the textual representation you are moving towards the details, but here when you use the use case diagram to show the lower level details of interaction, that things become messy, and it creates the complexity of the within the requirements. So use case diagrams are recommended from the scope model point of view, where you are representing the high level interaction with the users. And when you want to go in deep, you are moving towards the process models, and then you need to use the textual format of use cases. So this is the example of use case diagram. Here you are ordering a meal, and the customer is this is the rectangle representing the system boundary, and customer is ordering the meal, and this is the use case or goal which is associated with the customer. This goal cannot be completed without paying for the meal. So this goal or this use case calls another use case, and for different customer different set of instructions can be executed. For example, for a regular customer you can give a discount, but every customer is not getting the discount, so this can be represented by the extend keyword, because for all the interactions these steps are not executing. So include when one use case is calling another use case, extend when different set of steps are executing, and this represent the boundary of the system, and this is the user which is interacting with the system for a goal. Goal is important here. Role and goal is important here. SWOT diagram. Now you may be wondering that how SWOT diagram can be used to know the high level features and functions, and really it is a critical or crucial tool to know that right problem to solve, and it also gives the indication of right solution. Because we are not living in silos, we are impacted by our internal environment, and we are also impacted by our external environment. If I am taking the example of supermarket, here the internal weakness is that the staff is not good in the management of stock, and in the store sometimes customers find the stock with where the expiry date is already there. So in that case, supermarket is losing customer satisfaction, and there is a limited staff for stock rotation. That's why this problem is coming. Sometimes you may see that they are not trained enough. Sometimes you can visualize that there is a good workload. So if you see the problem in isolation, you may find the solution, okay, hire the new staff, but it may not be the right solution, because this may not be the real problem. If you are, because solving the right problem, there could be many problems, but if you are not solving the right problem, that problem will surface again. And here you need to see always that how your internal strength and external opportunities can be used to solve your internal weaknesses or external threats. So your internal strength is that your or supermarket is having good brand image, and they are having experienced stock staff. Staff is experienced, but there is a limited staff. So that is becoming the weakness. This is the internal things. External opportunities are there that customers are loving from uh, uh, online marketplace, and they are showing their interest in buying from the uh, m-commerce or online marketplace, and there are many commercial off-the-shelf products to enable this. And external threat is that you are lacking in the stock management, but your competitors are doing good in stock management, and some government regulations are there. So you are facing the competition, but you are having a good brand image. Why not to use this good brand image to collaborate with the organization who can provide you the commercial of the shelf product, where you can automate the stock rotation activities, so that if you are uh, hiring the staff to manage your stock rotation, but technology is there, technology is increasing, so you are not solving the right problem, because your additional staff will not stand in front of technology. So you may end up giving trainings and hiring again and again, but you won't be able to stand in front of competitors, because you are not taking care of external threats and opportunities. So at the high level scope models, you need to discover that what is the right problem to solve. When you know that you need to develop a application, then you will explore the features in detail related to that solution. Giving training is also a project, because the definition of a project, that it is a unique, and it ends on a date. So training definitely end after training is complete, and it is unique, because the whatever people are taking the training are taking the first time. So it's a project. So it's up to you that which project you are selecting, and whatever project is selected, you explore the features further in detail. So SWOT diagram is also important tool in the scope models, which can be used to know the right business requirements. 5 by analysis it is also a important tool to know the high level scope. Here I would like to say that you are not asking the question in form of why. It's just an indication. For example, the problem is that purchase order to supplier is not submitted. So you will brainstorm with the stakeholders why the purchase order to supplier is not submitted. What could be the reason? The reason is that supplier is not stable. Okay, supplier is not stable, then what happened inside? So that supplier become non-stable. Then when you are discovering the details and you are brainstorming, you are finding the details, then you got to know that last few payments were not made on time. So if last few payments were not made on time, then why supplier will be loyal to you, and he will give the orders on time? Then what is the reason that you were not able to pay on time? That because there is a procedural flaw, that flaw introducing delays in approval, and what is the reason of these delays in approval? When you try to find out, then you identify that fund not added in the cost baseline. Now fund is not added in the cost baseline, you're ending up to go through the external approval, and external approval is taking time. That's why you are not making payments on time, and that's why supplier is not stable, and your purchase order is not submitted, because you are not submitting the purchase order because you know that supplier is not good. But the reason is that, the actual reason is that the fund is not added to the cost baseline. The solution is not that you end up identifying another supplier. If you will select the another supplier, you will find the same problem again. You need to solve the right problem. So here the solution should be to include the cost in baseline and make sure that future cost added in the baseline. Cause and effect diagram. This is the fishbone diagram which can be used to know the high level features, because when you are identifying the root cause of a problem, you are looking at the right problem to solve, and here you are having the effect deadline problem, and for that effect there are multiple causes. Team members are not working properly, and supplier negotiation is not performed, customer introducing lot of changes, and purchase order is not submitted. Now, for these top level reasons, causes, you are exploring why team members are not working properly, because they are not experienced, they are not having good training, they have a lot of interruptions, and they are having a lot of interruptions because there are spontaneous meetings scheduled. So these are the inner details of this effect, uh, and this is the cause, and this is the effect, and these are the causes, and for this effect this is the cause. So another cause is supplier negotiation is not performed, and it is reason of supplier negotiation is not performed, that purchase order is not submitted. And this example we have already discussed in the 5 by analysis, because in the fishbone diagram the 5 by analysis is combined. Here for each cause you are using the 5 by analysis. So here you can see that for the relationship of these causes and effects, there is a logical flow of information, and these all causes and effects are logically related. So if you need to solve the deadline problem, you need to work here and here team members not working properly, you need to work in this area, you need to work in the area of supplier negotiation, you need to work in the area of customer introducing lot of changes, you need to and then if you are working in the supplier negotiation, you need to work here, or you need to go till that fund is added to the cost baseline. So these are the logically related, and this pictorial representation is giving you an idea of what are the features and functions which needs to be there in the system, and what needs to be addressed in the solution, because there is a logical flow of information. It is giving the idea of the features and functions which should be there in the solution, and it is giving the boundary, because you are doing the root cause analysis, and if you are addressing the root causes, these things should be there to solve the effect of deadline problem. So interrelationship diagram, here you are playing the multiple variables, and here is you can see that there is a cause of budget cut, and it is introducing effect limited ways to accept record claims, and it is another effect is that it is due to the low salaries and shortage of staff, and due to that low salary, due to low salaries, there is a shortage of staff, and due to shortage of staff, there is a scheduling delays. So you can see that the budget cut, there is a many outgoing errors, means it is creating many problems, and you can see the scheduling delays. This is the effect where many incoming errors are there, means this is the most critical effect and it is the most critical cause. So you need to address the budget cut and scheduling delays. So these are the critical things. This is the critical cause and this is the critical effect. You can see, and it is the bold outline. It is represented by the bold outline. So it is giving the idea of the critical effect and critical cause, and you need to explore further accordingly. So process flow is also example of the scope modeling. Here you are analyzing top level steps, and for each top level steps you are looking at the important details. What means when you are receiving a call, this calls may wait, give up. uh, uh, why? Because there is a limited agents and there's a budget cut. Here you are doing the 5 by analysis, and this is the thing which need to be addressed. So this information is circled here, and this is the important thing which needs to be taken care of. So this is the circled here, and all the important things are circled here, and for each step you are doing the 5 by analysis. So this is also an important way to know that what is the critical for the solution. It gives the idea of the minimum marketable features for the success of the solution. Decomposition model, now you have identified the features using different scope models, and now you are hierarchically representing those features. Means task 1 is divided in task 2 and task 3, task 2 is divided in task 4 and task 5, and this is a hierarchical representation of information where and of course at the top level. So it represents the division at the top level, and this is the further analysis. Means you identify the features and you are now analyzing, you are breaking down hierarchically. Organization chart is an also important tool to know the features and functions at high level, because when you know that how at what level what are the positions and how the information flow for those positions, you can understand the scope of the system. Because if MD is SM and AVP is reporting to the MD, then what kind of information is flowing between this relationship, you may know the different features and important features and functions at high level. To summarize that, the modeling plays a central role in requirement engineering. It helps to uncover the problems, important problems, right problems to solve. There could be many problems, but you need to know that right problem to solve. It supports the stakeholder engagement because it helps to represent the information in easier form. It make easy complex information. It gives you a measure of progress because you know that what are the minimum marketable features, what is important for the business, which features make sense to the business. So you are measuring the progress in form of those features. Scope models are the way to visualize high level requirements and scopes. Time to see the questions if you are having any. What is the Kano model and under which category it comes? Kano model is requirement prioritization, because you know the features and functions which needs to be included. Now within these features and functions, which requirements you need to implement first, means it uh, uh, actually these models map the customer satisfaction with the presence or absence of the feature. So this model is not related to the scope modeling. It is a requirement prioritization. It is related to the requirement prioritization. It helps to know the threshold features, because if for example, if a feature is not available, then customer will be dissatisfied, but if it is available, customer satisfaction will not increase, because these are the obvious features. And linear features, as much as you implement, the customer satisfaction increase linearly. And exciters and delighters, features which are not expected by the customer. So this is not the scope model actually. Is it clear, Shilpi? Please confirm, is it clear? Shilpi, are you there? Thanks, friends, for the participation. We have reached the time box. So I'm ending the webinar. Hope you have enjoyed the scope models, and it gives you the insight about how the uh, requirement management and development start from the scope model. Thank you.